Welcome to David's Progress.
Hi guys, welcome to another episode of David's Progress. Welcome to season 28. I'm finally 28 years old. And season 27 was good, but he gives more grace. I hope there'll be more progress and consistency this time for me and for you who's listening as well. The topic of today is very, very interesting to me. I recently saw a video on Instagram and people were singing about how adulthood is a scam and they said some other funny things. And I just went out on my Instagram stories, and I was just talking about how this is really what the problem is. You know, we thought adulthood was a scam. I mean, I was ranting because I don't like the statement, right? And that's a personal thing. Well, number one, it sounds self-deprecating to an extent. Number two, it's a wrong statement. And of course, I know a lot of people joke with it, you know. Of course, many people that say adulthood is a scam end up going to work hard and, you know, do great things with their lives and everything. So that's not the point I'm driving at. Of course, there are people who joke with it. So let me go back to the beginning. The first is, when you say adulthood is a scam, all right, the statement in itself is not very correct. And everybody knows that. So let's put it like this. Adulthood is a scam because it wasn't what you thought it was going to be. You know, you had a fantasy of freedom as a child, where we all had that fantasy, right? But is it really a scam, or did you scam yourself? Because first of all, there's no such thing as adulthood as somebody. People even use the word adulting instead of growing. Like, bro, you're growing. Adulting is just like you taking responsibility, you know. And I mean, the language is fine. But the point I want to make is, when people talk about adulting and adulthood being a scam, many times it's just them thinking about how they had fantasies when they were young, and now, you know, it's not as easy as it was or as they thought it would be, and that's fine. But the problem is, when you keep using that statement, adulthood is a scam, you don't realize it. But what happens is, the more you use it, or the more you say it, even as a joke, and there are two categories of people, obviously. There are people who actually take it literally, and they're like almost depressed because, oh my God, adulthood is a scam. I'm about to die, you know, blah, 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 that type of thing. There are actual people like that. If you didn't know, now you know. But there are the other people who, I mean, they are more of maybe my friends who know that adulthood isn't a scam, but they use the sentence as a joke, and, you know, they're just like, adulthood is not a scam, you know. And to an extent, that's fine, but it's not fine to another extent, because what it does is it subconsciously programs your mind into pushing a responsibility on something that doesn't exist. So when somebody who doesn't have enough willpower, or let me say self-actualization or self-understanding, use that statement so much, you wouldn't even realize when you start believing it. Even for those who have that level of realization, before you know it. So let me give you a good example. When Davido sings, "Life is all about the money," you know, people sing it, and of course we don't believe that life is all about the money. But somehow, the more you sing it, the more you believe that life is all about the money, whether you realize it or not. Or look at this. Fairness. If I broke down my business, for luck for the night, or, you know, people don't even realize that for luck for the night is obviously something very not great. But because it's in a song, it's more convenient for you to sing it. And because everybody is singing it, somehow your mind doesn't think about it too much. And I know that, you know, you're guarding your heart and everything, but those subtle ways are the ways that these things get into our minds and we don't even realize. Life is all about the money. There are people who didn't think life was all about the money when they started singing it. And now, somewhere in their minds, they still don't believe that life is all about the money, but it affects them in a very subconscious way that they don't even realize. So that's the point I want to make, which is that making statements like that have a way of rewiring your mind subconsciously. When you keep saying adulthood is a scam, whether as a joke or as serious, I think what you should do is avoid that statement, right? And now for somebody who was actually scammed, like you really, really were scammed by the fact that adulthood is not what you thought it was going to be. See, let me tell you the truth. What you just need to do is realize that you're an adult now, whether you really embrace it or not. And don't use those statements because they push the responsibility to something that doesn't exist. Adulthood isn't someone. It's like victim blaming adulthood for the things that are happening to you, you know. And it doesn't sound like such a big deal, but it is. And I'll tell you why there's a bigger picture here. And the bigger picture is things like this are things that have a wave, like culture, jokes, comedy, skits, statements. I'm expecting something huge. That's like, I don't mean there's anything bad. I'm expecting something huge. It's just what it is. But I'm saying those statements, they just have a way of going around and everybody says it. And yeah, it's just vibes and vibes. As a believer, as somebody who is mindful of the things that you want to get into your head, the things that you want to process, the things that you want to be a part of your personality, you have to be mindful for those things. Those are the ways that the enemy will creep in unaware into your mind and you don't even realize it because, it's not a harmful thing to say, you're just joking or it's just what it is. But watch out. Subtle ways those things cross your mind. And let me tell you when you might even realize that it's affecting you. You're working at something hard. You're doing something that is supposed to be very difficult. And it's just hard, Like it's hard for everybody, It's obviously not the same for everyone, but there's some level of hardness to it for everyone. And while you're doing that hard thing, you're just like, hi, I'm so tired of this adulthood life. The more you say that, words like adulthood is a scam encourages your tiredness. It could be different if you said, man, this thing is really difficult. I need to, get more strength to pull through. It's different from more adulting is a scam. The difference is when you say, more, I need to push more, I need to get more strength. You are putting responsibility on yourself to do more, When you say adulthood is a scam, you are moving the responsibility away from you. Even though you're not doing it really, 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 but those words have a way of just making you feel more tired or more stressed out or more overwhelmed compared to when you actually admit, the difficulty of what you're doing and resolve that I'm going to work harder at being able to get what I'm supposed to get done. So it's just that small thing. You don't realize it, but the more those things happen, the more you just realize that you are more tired than you've ever been before. You are losing hope. You are just like unnecessarily stressed out, unnecessarily overwhelmed, unnecessarily just tired, almost depressed because everything is just hard. Adulthood is just getting at me, It can be that minute detail that moves you from a complainer to taking responsibility for your life, and getting yourself to the point where whatever comes my way, whatever happens to me at any point, I need to look inwards. I need to, and if you want to help yourself, change your phrases, change saying stuff like adulthood is a scam or stuff like now everybody go chop breakfast last, or those kind of things that just have a way of subconsciously allowing you to expect failure or expect things that you really don't want, but you're saying them in quotes as a coping mechanism, But what they actually do to you is they just make you feel more defeated, Say more things that will make you feel less defeated. Say more things that will make you feel more strong. Say more things that will make you more, agile, more stronger. And that's your goal. But in the bid to relax and just chill, we say those things and they affect us and we don't even realize it many times. So yeah, that's my bit on today's episode. So in reality, adulthood isn't a scam. If anything, you scammed yourself, and it's fine to say, oh, I scammed myself. Adulthood is just what it is, because in reality, responsibility and freedom aren't the same. As children, what we really, really wanted was freedom. We wanted to be free. We wanted to have control of our time. We wanted nobody to say, go here, go there, But now we're adults and we're realizing how difficult it is. And that's fine. We're all realizing how difficult it is. But, let's help each other by focusing on the things that would help us get through it in the best way possible. Because somehow you may think that is helping you get through it, but it's not helping you get through it in the best way possible. That's the difference, So focus on the upsides, the positives.